Hey, what's going on YouTube? This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So, let's get into it. I wanted to make a video on what pretty much just happened. I filmed this a couple times, but I wanted to refilm. But, I had lunch with my brother today. You know, it's 3 days until June 1st, and he suggested that we go at 9 a.m. So I went, parked somewhere, we had breakfast. It was nice, it was great. Let's get into the numbers and stuff. So while I was in there, I heard this bell ring 3 times, and someone came over and apologized, and I felt weird. She was walking our way, and then she moved back, and then this table next to us, their phone went off and started ringing 3 times, and then it started ringing 6 times after the person didn't pick up both times with the ringer on really loud. And mind you, my brother and I are the only carbonated beings who are customers in the restaurant, and there was one man who is carbonated Latino, and was, you know, serving different tables. But I just add that to say, you know, we were the only 9 ether beings, potentially the only ones on our journey remembering who we are trying to get out. So, and his phone rang 6 times, and then which I felt really weird, like my energy body, it's like those frequencies from the phones hit my body on the inside, my spirit body, and it just felt weird, like I felt it in my knees. So after that, my brother then has the impulse shortly after to check his phone, and the time says 10:59. So he then flips it around and shows me, and I'm like, I believe you. But okay. And we then kept talking for a little bit, and it was at 11:07 going into 11:08 that we then started getting up and deciding we were going to pay, because at 11:05 I asked this gentleman, you know, do we pay you who seats us, or do we pay at the front? Do we pay the waiter? And he was like, oh, you just pay at the front. So then we both had a laugh about, you know, not knowing where to go to pay, because we were just sitting there waiting for a little bit. And then we get up when we go to pay, but the table next to us that had the phone ring really loud, where it rang 3 times and then 6 times, there was a woman. There was 3 people sitting there, all 6 ether beings, but let's focus on the Caucasian woman who had on a pink hat. When my brother and I were getting up to go pay at 11:07, that then immediately went into 11:08, she kept looking at her phone. Excuse me, she was staring at my brother and I picked up on her staring at my brother and I. You know, I know it's not because, you know, oh, we're black, but I mean, it's because we are carbonated gods, Anunnaki, 9 ether beings. And I just felt that there was something underneath her gaze. And then what led me to definitely, you know, acknowledging that my intuition in that moment was correct, was that she kept looking at her watch. She looked at her watch, and then she looked back at us. And she looked at her watch, and she looked back at us, and then she kept, you know, looking at us with her pink hat turned downward. And it's like, if you're gonna look, just look. But that just made me think, okay, it's about to be 11:09, so my brother's probably gonna pay right at 11:09. Even though it was 11:08, so he could have paid at 11:08. But we get up there, and the gentleman is saying, oh, it's my second day, and I don't know how to do this. And so then he goes and gets, he's like, oh, is it possible for you to get your waiter or whatever? And then my brother points to the waiter, because she's literally right there. And then she comes, and then she is acting like she's training him. Bottom line, he could have paid it right at 11:08, but he ended up paying on the dot at 11:09. You know, and then with the price of his food, like, that's not controllable, but there was 3 9s. And then I paid immediately after, and it was at 11:10, let's say. And then we went outside, and I had this little parking, I had something on my vehicle, and there was a homeless man staring at my brother and I when we were walking out. And so I looked at it, I glanced at it, I didn't even read it. He read it, and then we walked to his car to see if he had one, and he didn't. But he said it was for $25 for this parking ticket or whatever, and there was no sign in front of my vehicle, nothing by the tree, nothing at all. But I'm adding this in here for the numbers because even though it's 25, there's only 9 numbers. 5 minus 2 equals what? 3. So there's been a lot of 9s so far today, and some 3s and some 6s. And then this man who I'm just going to say I believe was pretending to be homeless, definitely knew what was going on, hawk eyes staring at my brother and I for this entire interaction. And so then I kept staring at him, and he kept what are you doing? You know, I know you were looking at me, and because of this event right here, I know it's not because you want $1. I would not be surprised if he was the one that put it on the car, but I'm not gonna state that. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. So we then said our goodbyes, and my brother ends up seeing this friend, this gentleman who ends up visiting the house that I'm staying at quite a bit. Bottom line, there's no coincidences in this matrix. And he shared with me that my mother is on a trip for 3 days. And my father, you know, so the Maxwell, he who shall not be named, and then my father, the Rothschild, she who shall not be named, is going, you know, Kevin, the Rothschild, is going to Germany on the 1st of June, and we'll be gone for like a week. And then Michelle won't be here until about the 2nd of June. And won't be back, you know, prior. So one's in LA and the other's going to Germany. But again, with the numbers, the 3, the 6, and the 9, and everything just felt kind of weird. And I have been thinking about, you know, my time when I was at Target and the people around me who all of them, you know, don't want me to shift into my highest frequency. And I can make another video on that. Once your spirit, once you reach a certain point and your spirit is able to discern the spirit in other people, then you really know how deep this matrix goes. I don't have all the full answers right this second. I know every answer that I will ever need is ever inside of me, but that just kind of, that did it. So because of that, adding that into the equation and them saying around me consistently, oh, remember that thing that's going to happen in May? Remember that thing that's going to happen in May? And they make sure to look at me but not tell me what. I'd be like, you know, what the heck is happening in May? I was to a point in my life where I knew with the people around me that did not care about me, I did not care to involve myself in said conversations. I'm here to clock in and clock out. So I didn't ask, but I do believe there was something underneath those words, and I'm now just sharing this because I feel I picked up on some of those numbers, and it definitely wasn't a coincidence about the damn parking ticket. And the way things are falling, I feel, right now, where Michelle won't be here, Kevin won't be here, and my brother now has a super loaded, busy week. Or I should say weekend, because his weekends are, you know, this upcoming, essentially, work weekend for him. Where if something were to happen, would I be able to call my brother, you know, or not? And I'm not planning on obviously doing anything, but I just want to add, you know, the time when I moved into this house that first night on the 22nd, I had some weird stuff happen in the astrals, and then I literally felt my spirit body being manipulated, and it had an effect to the point where I ended up, like my arm shot out. My arm shot out and I did not. Sorry, yeah, I'm turning on the AC so that my phone doesn't overheat. Um, but my arm shot out, you know, and I didn't control that. That was from a force outside of me. And it's definitely uncomfortable, unsettling, disheartening, but it's reality. It's reality. So I definitely wanted to make a video speaking about that. And my body just said, you know, oh, the way things are falling right now, I feel the need to make a video. So let me do that, and let me speak about the 3, the 6, and the 9 that, you know, I have heard several times today and seen. And with that parking ticket, to you know, the phones ringing in the restaurant, and then the bell. They also had a bell that would do that 3 times. And it's just, I'm just hearing and seeing these numbers, and my body saying, make the video, you know? And I plan on making more, obviously, because this is a part of the truth I believe that is being revealed. How these numbers have an effect on my spirit body, my astral body, and my physical body, as well as anyone who's on their journey of remembering who they are, who is technically enslaved to the United States corporation because it is a business, or I should say incorporated because it is a corporation, and you yourself are a corporation in this legal game. But it's only a game that's being played because the people haven't been aware of what is being done to them. So there's going to be a point where we all pull back and this game isn't being played anymore this year, since free will is continuing to exercise itself. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video. Bottom line, I have like a little bit of a sinking feeling that something might happen this upcoming weekend. And if it doesn't, I'm glad that I listened to my body and I just made the video. You know, if something does, then I'm also glad that I listened to my body and made the video. But I'm just making this right now, and based off of the experiences that I have had in that house since moving in on the 22nd of April, the experiences in the astrals with my body being manipulated, disrespected, abused has increased. And how people are going about getting what they want in the physical also has heightened a little bit in intensity. So I'm just making this video, honestly, to put myself at ease a little bit. And I keep looking at the clouds, y'all, because it was sunny a couple seconds ago. But at least it's hot. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video, and share the numbers that I keep hearing and seeing and that are being used around me and my body, like the $25 for this parking ticket, which is BS. 5 minus 2 equals 3. There's only 9 numbers. 9 is the highest number. We are 9 ether beings. We are beings of completion. And next year is the year of the 9. So what is going to happen, or what has to happen from now till January 1st of 2025 for us to reach being in the year of completion? Or I guess I should say from now to December 31st for us to enter the year of the 9 as 9 ether beings. What needs to be completed with this mission that we're on? So, yep, I'm now gonna end this here and say I want to send peace, courage, protection, and divine cosmic love to every single Anunnaki goddess and Anunnaki god who is on their journey of remembering their divinity and remembering who they are. Peace.